Hey guys, this is Saurabh from AllAboutTechnologies, and in this video let's unbox the Asus Zenfone Max M1 and the Asus Zenfone Lite L1. Now both of these smartphones were launched here in India recently and both the devices are priced less than 10,000. Now there are few similarities between the two, but then again there are quite a lot of differences, and there is a reason why this one is called as Max M1. So I will talk about that in a bit, but first let's quickly see the price and then we will unbox and take a look at the device. So the price of the Max M1 on the box is 9,599, but you can get it for 7,500 for a limited time, whereas it is 7,199 for the L1, but you can get it for 5,999 once again for a limited time. Now let's quickly open both the boxes and see what all things we get. So first you get the device, next you get some documentation, and yes, there is no cover included in the box, but you get USB to micro USB cable on both the devices. And once again there is a difference over here. The power adapter is different on both the devices. You get 5V 2A adapter with the Max M1, but you get 5.2V 1A adapter with the L1. That's it from the box pack. Now let's take a look at some specs. Both the devices come with Snapdragon 430 chipset, which is an octa-core processor clocked at 1.4 GHz with Adreno 505 GPU. The Max M1 has 3GB of RAM and 32GB of storage, while the Lite L1 has 2GB of RAM and 16GB of storage. Apart from the processor, there are a few differences in the two phones that we will discuss in this video. Talking about the build and design, both the phones have a very basic design with a single camera module on the back. The M1 has a metallic finish and also a fingerprint scanner on the back. Both phones are made out of plastic, but that is acceptable at this price. Overall, I like the M1 more because of a slightly more premium feel and 2.5D curved glass on the front. The display on both the devices is a 5.5-inch HD Plus LCD panel with good viewing angles and nice colors. Thanks to the tall aspect ratio, both phones are very compact. No complaints for now. Although as I mentioned earlier, there is a 2.5D curved glass on the Max M1 and a normal flat glass on the L1. Moving on to the I/O, there is a micro USB port at the bottom flanked by two grills, of which only one is the speaker on both the devices, but the output is completely different on both the units. The Max M1 gets decently loud, although not much, whereas L1 is having a very low output and it is barely audible. Here is a demo. Both devices come with dual SIM plus a dedicated SD card slot through which you can expand storage up to 256GB, which is nice. Volume and power buttons are located on the right on both the phones and they are nice and tactile, so no complaints. Lastly, on the top is the headphone jack. Now let's take a look at some major differences. L1 comes with a 3000 mAh battery, whereas Max M1 comes with a 4000 mAh battery to continue the Max legacy. There is no fingerprint scanner on the L1, but the one on the Max M1 works fine, so no complaints. What's there on both the devices is the face unlock, but it's not that fast. Rear cameras on both the devices is the 13MP one with f2.0 aperture, but the front cameras are different on both the devices. L1 has a 5MP shooter, whereas M1 has an 8MP shooter. And guys, I have shot few pictures with both the devices and here are the sample pictures. Now in terms of software, it comes with Zen UI, which is built on top of Android 8.0 Oreo, and Asus said that it will directly roll out the Pie update instead of updating it to Android 8.1 first, which is a nice thing, but when that will happen, I have no clue. In terms of security patch, both the devices have August security patch, and that's pretty much it about the software. So guys, that was a quick unboxing and initial impressions of the Asus Zenfone Max M1 and the Asus Zenfone Lite L1. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications because only then you will get notified. Make sure to follow me on all my social media networks. Links will be there in the description box along with the links to buy these devices. Thank you guys for watching. This is Saurabh.